We're about to hit back and arms. Per usual, I'm about to shit my pants. Nothing too crazy to the intro. We're about to go hit back and arms. I'm probably only gonna mic myself up, but I might mic him up too, but he probably won't want to be. Wait, put the. I don't even want to mic. Hey, bros. Hey. All right, bye.
I don't even want to get mic'd.
Okay, this is the lat movement that I've been talking about for a minute. That is, I'm talking to the camera. He said, I don't know what you just said. This is the lat movement I've been wanting to do, or wanting to show the channel for a minute. It's by far my favorite lat bias movement. I'll explain a little bit why I love it so much. You can get the exact same thing from a machine that has your legs locked in, and then also an upper, like a grip and attachment that doesn't move unilaterally. So when you look at like a usual lat pull down, the top attachment is going to move, it's going to wobble, so you're going to have to stabilize yourself there. And then if you do like a normal pull up, your legs are going to swing, so you're going to have to stabilize yourself at the bottom. Here, I'm able to put my feet on this, so my feet are stabilized, and I'm also able to grab here, so my upper is stabilized. But the reason I have to add the weight is because whenever I have my feet here, it makes the movement lighter. So I have this set on 22 pounds, and then I have this 45 as well. So it's like I'm lifting my body weight plus 20-ish pounds. You can also, I'll show you another machine inside we'll go to after this that is basically the same thing, but if your gym doesn't have that and does have this, this is how you can get that same amount of stability. Okay, so same cues as usual. I try to get 6 to 8 reps there. It was like almost 6. I don't try to go all the way down to full extension because once you get past about here, your rear delts and your lower pec are going to take over a lot of the tension. So I go almost to full range of motion, and then I go as high as I can. And yeah, I'm probably going to record one more working set here, or I might just record my brother Hudson performing it so you guys can see the form and get a better view of it.
Bro, don't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try to show you Hudson's form. Let's see if you can see from here. I'm gonna show you his form and then try to give him some cues while he's going to help him out a little bit.
Don't touch me.
I'm trying to help you. Get a little higher if you can. Don't fully extend at the bottom. Stop right there, yeah. Come on, wait, keep going, I got you. Keep going. 2 more. So, for Hudson, it's a little bit harder because he is a stocky, big bastard. So his weight is a little bit higher, so his body weight's higher. So for him, it might be best to stick with body weight on this, but the issue is that you can't really go up above 16 right there. So if he were to do it with no plate, he'd be giving himself 16 pounds of help. And at that point, he'd be going way over the 6 to 8 rep range. So for this, we'll have it set up. It's been best with me just helping him get the last couple reps, but for the most part, I wouldn't recommend that you have somebody help you get your reps 99% of the time. Okay, going into my, Yeah, it's the same thing. I'm going into my first working set here. So this locks your legs in here, and then also this isn't moving you unilaterally, so it's locked in here as well. So this is another machine, if you have one of these or something like this at your gym, this is something that I would definitely recommend trying to do if you don't have the other setup that I have. What I do with that setup is because I feel like it allows me to have a really straight up posture. So that's why it just feels really comfortable for myself. This one I feel it pulls a little bit, it's more of like a rowing motion. I'll show you exactly what I mean after I do this set, but it just doesn't feel super great. I'm also going relatively heavier than I normally would here, so we'll see if I can still get the 6 to 8 rep range. So that felt pretty good. I think I got 7-ish reps there. The only issue is at the top, there's like not a whole lot of tension, and then at the bottom, the tension is a lot higher just because of how the leverages is. It's still super smooth, but for the most part, that's why I would pick doing the body weight, plated, whatever you want to call the pull-up movement that I did outside. It's just more comfortable for myself. So I might record Hudson doing a set here, maybe not. After this, we'll probably go into some Keenan flaps or something similar to that. Let's go, puta. Try not to go full extension. There you go. 3 more. What the hell? Why are you looking at me like that? This kid's turning pink. Control it up, control it. Control the eccentric on this last one. There you go, control it, control it. That was good.
Kinda.
That was good.
How many did I even do?
Like 7 or 8. Do the Lamar, do the Lamar. Do it, do it.
Oh, bro, no.
Damn it.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe, literally. Don't say it.
Don't say it. We were gonna do this or Keenan flaps. We decided to do this just because both of the movements were more frontal plane lat bias, and this one I want to do a little bit of a row motion to target the lats. This will be our last lat bias movement. We'll do 2 working sets here. I'm gonna video Hudson in his next one and repeat some of the cues that I just gave him. I forgot to record, or I should have recorded. I'm gonna record one of my sets as well, I think. Yeah, that's basically it. And then we'll probably go to stay on the same machine and do middle back here, and I'll explain the differences, and yeah. Okay, I'm gonna record my set first. We're gonna see how the stack feels here. 250. Might have to get a gym pin, but this low-key, what the fuck did I just say low-key for? This usually feels pretty heavy, and I'm able to feel around 6 or 7 here, so we'll stick with this weight. So funny, jackass. I saw that. Dude, he actually crashes out. All right. So while Hudson's doing his next set, I'll point out some of my main focuses and then explain to him what to do to perform the movement correctly. That felt pretty good. My wrist wraps are feeling a little bit weird and kind of digging into my wrist oddly, so we'll see if we stay on this machine for the next one. Ready?
Dying. No.
Are you ready? Okay, so see when he's pulling, keep going. How his hand placement is a little bit lower than his elbow. That's okay. It's way better than having your hands a little bit higher, because that would recruit more of your bicep and to take away from your lat. Stay a little bit more lean forward at the bottom. Do one more here, I'll help you. Yeah, stay lean forward. There you go. So whenever you lean back sometimes at the back of those movements, it can recruit a little bit more of your middle back. It's the same thing for a lat pull down. So whenever you're doing a lat pull down, you want to stay as you want your posture to be as straight as you can. That's why I like to do this machine right here. But you want your posture to be as straight as you can, so your lat is responsible for the majority of the movement. Whenever you tend to lean back like that and retract your scapula a little bit more, it targets a little bit more of your middle back than your lats. So from here, we're gonna use the same machine, a little bit of a different grip and a different setup to target our middle back. Okay, I just gave Hudson some tips on this last set. I'm gonna leave it on that weight. On this last, can you see me in that, where I'm sitting? Yeah. Okay, I just gave Hudson. That's fine, he'll see when I go back. I just gave Hudson some tips on his last set. I'm gonna kind of reiterate and explain to you guys what I was telling him, and then you guys can see me perform it. I'll tell you first, and I'm gonna put my straps on. So firstly, he's here, and he's kind of pushing himself back a little bit, which is gonna put a lot of pressure on your lower back. A lot of people think like it's a big misconception that whenever you're targeting your middle back that you have to go back like this, but you can perfectly retract your scapula here. So you're still retracting your scapula, but you have this pressure on your chest. This is supporting your chest. If you're going here and you're pulling back, it's taking away the main advantage that this is giving you, which is like ultimate stability. And then that's basically it. I'll kind of show you guys as well how my arms and elbows are gonna be fairly aligned throughout. And then I'm also doing this grip in comparison rather than this grip, just because whenever I'm here, I feel it's a better alignment for your middle back to get activated rather than being here a little bit lower. Even whenever, so the plane can be the same if I lower the seats to where I'm going like this, and it looks like I'm doing the same like line, linear path. But whenever I'm here, sometimes at the top, I go in a little bit like this, and my bicep gets more involved in the movement. So that's why I do this grip instead of that. For the longest time, I was doing it with the inner grip, and I felt strong and I saw some growth, but I think that I was holding myself back because I do believe that I was having more bicep involvement than I should have after finally like understanding the mechanics and going back and watching my my sets and seeing how I was doing that. Okay, here we go. Okay, that felt really good. Another thing that I was telling Hudson that I forgot to mention is you really want to make sure you focus on pushing your shoulders down, decompressing your shoulders, because he already has really big traps, and I think another reason for that is because whenever he's doing rows, sometimes he tends to shrug himself up, so he's getting a lot more stimulus in his traps than he already needs, on top of having really good trap genetics. That covers basically everything for middle back and back in general. We're gonna do actually 2 to 3 more sets here because this is one of my favorite back, movements for targeting back, having just some form of chest supported row. And I'm gonna do probably 4 working sets here, and then we'll go to triceps, but that's the last one I think I'm gonna record. Just like that. Get a little further back if you can. Shoulders down, I'll help you get there. Probably need to go a little bit lighter next time. There you go. There you go. One more. Control the eccentric. All right, I haven't had a chance to record this here yet. This is probably my favorite JM press variation of any gym that I go to. It's just super comfortable for me. I've already explained what a JM press is, but I'll give you guys a little bit more nuance. It's basically a compound movement for your triceps where you're in a bench press position. I also really like doing it on the Smith machine here. If this isn't open, I'll usually do it there. And honestly, the more I do it on here, I remember that the grip isn't great with how you have to align here. I do the suicide grip to where I'm not holding it, because if I was holding it like this, it would hurt my wrist. I more so have it balanced, and the pressure from the weight is keeping it on my hands and not sliding. But yeah, it's not too crazy. Keep your elbows basically locked in when you're going to the bottom portion here. You don't want to go back, because if you go like this, your chest and your front delts are going to get a lot of activation. But if you can keep your elbows in here, and then at the top you can push them out a little bit, because obviously you're trying to bias your triceps. So whenever you're doing a chest press movement anyways, your triceps are responsible for the majority of the finish of the movement. That's a little bit of an over explanation there, but we're going to do 2 working sets here, and then we'll go to some other tricep variation. I'm not exactly sure as of what yet. I'm gonna record either mine or Hudson's working set here, and then we'll see from there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do my first working set here, and then I'm gonna explain some of the cues, and then I might record Hudson as I talk him through some of the sets. If I don't, we're gonna go to some sort of tricep movement that's gonna be targeting the long head, which is the bigger portion here. The lateral head is the one that goes over, which is more so what we're trying to target here with it being out in the frontal plane. whenever you're going a little bit back behind yourself, like not a kickback specifically, but when you're back behind your main torso and you're pushing here, your long head is going to take over for more of the movement. When here, your medial, which is this portion right here, and your lateral is going to be responsible for the majority of the tension. So that's the main target. Okay. So, in kind of contrary to what you're doing when I do this movement for my chest, in the last portion, you really want to focus on getting to that lockout because that's all tricep. And then this movement also is converging at the top, which really doesn't make a whole lot of a difference if it's converging or not whenever you're trying to target your triceps. But for me, it feels pretty comfortable. I think we covered the majority. If you want to have your scapular retracted here, I do it. I don't think it's necessarily something you need to do, but when doing heavier weight like this, it's on 215 right now. When doing heavier weight like that, it's always best or good to have your shoulders in a safer position. So whatever's comfortable and feels good for you. Okay. Yeah, it sucks. All right, this is gonna be my last working set here for this movement. My main focus, like I mentioned earlier, is that I'm trying to keep my, watch there's so much shit here. I'm trying to keep my arm back past my torso. So I bias my long head portion of my tricep more than anything else. So that's the main target here. Last working set. Okay, so that was my last working set. From here we're gonna go to biceps. Probably gonna go to alternating single arm bicep curls. Obviously bicep curls, just single arm curls, alternating, and then can't think, dying right now, but yeah, that's where we're going next.
If what?
The lighting looks okay? Okay, about to do a little pose down real quick, just a little pump check. I'm gonna scoot it this way just a little bit so I can see in the mirror. Still look okay? Yeah. Okay. Pump feels pretty decent. Can't really tell, it's always hard to tell. The sun went away like right when I kind of wanted it there, but for the most part I think we looked all right. So gonna do biceps, probably the unilateral curls, alternating curls, whatever you want to call it. Not unilateral. Alternating curls, and then we'll go to probably some form of preacher curl. Okay, hopefully I'm in frame here, can't really tell. Again, not a whole lot of cues here. Whenever I'm alternating, you might see me leaning a little bit when I'm doing that arm, and then lean out whenever I'm doing the eccentric, just to keep constant tension in my bicep. This isn't the most science-based thing in the world, but it's also not a bad exercise at all. I think it's really, really good for developing your biceps. From here, we'll do training your biceps in more of a lengthened position whenever you're doing a preacher curl and putting the tension towards the bottom. And that's one of those times I've been talking about how usually I want constant tension throughout the movement. When I do the preacher curl, that's one of the few times that I'd like to have some tension at the bottom to target my bicep in that particular way. Okay. And then if I can't get any more where I'm supinating it, I'll go into something like this, where I'm targeting my brachialis a little bit more. And you might see me swing a little bit there, which again, going past failure isn't the most optimal thing in the world. But I think there's a time and place for putting your eccentric portion at the forefront of your training, and that's where I like to swing a little bit to get into the concentric and then really focus on the eccentric because you are stronger in that portion of the movement. So that's my last one there. And then we'll go to some form of preacher curl. I think he's jelking. Are you jelking? Are you jelking? Didn't like that one. Okay, this is our last bicep, our last set for the workout. Here I have the seat set all the way low because this machine in particular can't make it to where the tension is harder at the bottom. So how I make that happen based on the leverages is putting the seat really low and I'm set it back like this. So just because of how the leverages and the mechanics are, the tension will get a lot higher at the bottom, and that's where I'm trying to train the bicep in more of a lengthened position. It's one of the only muscle groups that I will do that for. I've seen a lot of growth since I started doing that, so that's why I've been training the lengthened position of the bicep. I'll go into a more nuanced detail and explanation for that next video because this one's already a little bit longer than I'd like for it to be. This is the last set of the day. Another thing is, once I get to where I can't do the exercise anymore, sometimes I'll help myself get there and then I'll fight the eccentric, or I'll do this grip here where I'm targeting and training my brachialis a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's most of the cues I want to talk about right now. Okay. That's it for today. We might go to the sauna after this and maybe play some basketball. Most likely just head out. Hey, he's lit. Most likely just head out though, because we've been here for a minute already. If you watched this far, I really appreciate it. Have a good one, God bless.